Find a comfortable sit. Maybe cross your legs in front of you and place your hands on top of your knees. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Try to keep your neck relaxed. And close your eyes. Soften the back of your eyes. Soften your throat. Soften your shoulders. Relax the energy of your existence. Start by the edges of your body, your skin, and begin to drift into your own self, almost like it's a journey. But not a journey into the future, not a journey into the past. It's more like a trip into the now, into the present moment, into the feelings, into the senses, and something even beyond that. But keep it right here, right now. And even as you sit here, even as we sit here, there's something changing inside of us. Even as these words become something that is just passing, you're turning into something different from what you were a few seconds ago, or even the previous second. Imagine that you could see yourself, the inner self. Imagine that you can see the rivers, your fluids, the changes. You are nothing but change itself. So as we sit here, as we gather, be aware of that change. Be aware of the passing floating leaves on top of the river. They're all different. There's not an exact same pattern on the river's surface. It's all changing all the time. So to that possibility of change it, take a deep inhale and a soft exhale. Take another deep inhale and let it out softly as you exhale. One more time. Take a deep inhale to the sides of the pelvis. And let it all out as you exhale. And begin to open your eyes. So we're gonna do a lot of deep breath, but instead of thinking of that breath towards the front of your belly, we're still using our belly and our expansion around the diaphragm, but we're gonna try to do it to the size of the pelvis. So imagine that somebody's actually holding you from the size of the waist, like I'm gonna hold Yana right now. So in fact, bring your hands to the size of your waist. So Yana is gonna let me hold her, but in your case, you'll be holding yourself and pressing towards the center of your waist. So as you take a deep inhale, begin to try to send that energy to the size of the pelvis, and as you do that, you're gonna begin to push the hands away from the center. So if you take a look at Yana's size of the pelvis, as she inhales, she's pushing the hands away from the center. And as she exhales, those hands come back to the center. Take one more deep inhale and push those hands away from your waist. So you're going to do that too. You press into the center. And that's just going to teach your nervous system what we're going to be doing in terms of breathing. So trying to bring that expansion, that limitless expanding breathing. So close your eyes one more time. Put your hands on your knees. And if you want to try to feel it, bring your hands on the size of the waist. But you don't have to stay there, so take a deep inhale to the size of the pelvis. Visualize how the hands get pushed away from the center. And exhale, let it come back to center. One more time, deep inhale to the size of the pelvis. Visualize it pushing away the hands. And exhale. And keep breathing at your own pace. Feel it. Feel the wind traveling through the inner garden. Let it expand towards your tissues, your bones. Now follow your breath as you take a deep inhale through your nose and down to the size of the pelvis, and follow the energy as it goes up past your heart, past your throat. Let it sit at the bottom of your skull and let it expand towards the crown of your head, and hold the air there. Sip a little bit more air, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and hold. And even as you're here, soften your shoulders and your throat. Take another sip of breath. And exhale, let it all out. And what do you notice? One more time, follow the air, follow the energy as it goes through your nose and down to the size of the pelvis, and follow it in an opposite direction, past your heart, past your throat, and let it sit at the bottom of your skull and let it expand towards the crown of your head, and hold the air there. Sip a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and hold. Take one more strong sip of breath. And exhale all out. Now breathe naturally and begin to sway side to side, almost like you're being taken away by a big ocean. Not a rough ocean, more like a very soft high density salt ocean. Sway side to side and let your shoulders be fairly soft. Now bring your hands, your fingertips to the top of your knees. And if you have a bolster, you can take that bolster out. But you can keep it if you want, but just to connect directly with your roots, your sitting bones to the earth. Fingertips on the knees. Begin to lift your knees towards the sky. Lift the low belly towards the back of your heart. So imagine that you can bring the low belly up behind the sternum. Lift your armpits up. So instead of lifting your shoulders, just bring your armpits up and let your elbows spiral in. Take deep breaths to the sides of the pelvis and imagine that you can do 75% deep breath and 25% exhale. Keep pushing with your knees up towards the sky, and with your fingertips you're pushing down towards the ground. So you're pushing in opposite directions with hands and knees. Begin to lean back. Keep breathing deep to the sides of the pelvis. Deep breath. And lean back a little bit more if you want to challenge yourself. Now find a shake. So lean back a little bit more and keep pressing down to the ground with your hands and up with your knees towards the sky. On 3. On 2. On 1. Exhale. Bring your hands in front of you like zombie hands. Soft hands. Take a deep inhale. Inflate the inner balloon. Imagine that your diaphragm is pushing everything around. Open your wings and fly. And exhale. Bring them back to the center. One more time. Lean forward. Take a deep inhale. Open the wings and fly. Let the energy expand towards your fingertips and all around you. And exhale. Hands back on top of your knees. Begin to push again with your knees towards the sky and your hands are pushing towards the ground. Armpits up. Low belly goes behind the heart. Let your elbows fall in a spiral towards the center. Begin to lean back again one more time. Keep pushing towards the sky with your knees. Now bring your hands in front of your chest like zombie hands. Keep pressing with your knees up towards the sky. Now bring your hands or your fingertips right on your sternum and begin to sway side to side, almost like you're flossing your shoulders through a couple of very, very tiny gap between two rocks, and you're kind of flossing those rocks in between. Lean back a little bit more if you want to challenge it. And you're almost finding a little bit of a shake there and sway side to side, almost like flossing. Try to keep your head facing forward, so instead of going side to side with your head, you're keeping your head looking forward. Go a little bit faster if you want. Deep breath to the sides of the pelvis. And exhale, come back to center. Lean forward. Take a deep inhale and fly. Exhale, hands in front of you on the ground. Baby hands, so you're pressing on the sides of the edges of your hands. Walk your hands away from you a little bit. Take a deep inhale and go into all fours. Find the connection with your outer hands. So the pinky moon of your hands. This outer side of your hand. Feel the connection and how it goes, that energy, to the elbow, your shoulders, shoulder blades. So the outer part of your wings, and move side to side. Let your hands be felt as they touch the ground on the edges, outer edges. Now come back to center, to the apparent stillness. Close your eyes and feel the rivers moving all around you, all inside of you. Nothing's still. Everything is changing, everything is moving, even inside of you. And as you begin to bring your sitting bones towards your heels, keep connecting with the ground with your hands, baby hands. Wait for the inhale. Take a deep inhale, roll forward, inflate the inner balloon. Connect with your spine as it rolls towards the sky. And finish the movement with your neck and your head facing forward. And now as you exhale, bring your sitting bones towards your heels. Do it one more time. Wait for the inhale. Inflate the inner balloon. Let your spine grow tall. Let the neck and the head finish the movement. And as you exhale, let it bring you back, sitting bones towards the heels. This time, separate your knees from your ground. Downward facing dog, sitting bones going up towards the sky. Find a little bit of movement, moving your hips side to side. Don't rush into downward facing dog. Instead of that, explore it. Keep breathing deep here. Now walk your feet towards your hands. And as you exhale, let your upper body kind of rest on top of your thighs. And even as you're here, your sitting bones are pulling up towards the sky. So imagine like someone is pulling your sitting bones. You can even grab your sitting bones and pull them towards the sky. Let your upper body be lazy on top of your thighs. Keep breathing deep. Now take a deep inhale and fold your hands all the way up to the sky. Zombie hands on top of your head. Find the connection with the outer edges of your feet. Bend your knees. Knees forward, sitting bones back. Sway side to side a little bit. Now bring your right hand to your left collarbone. Place it there. Feel your collarbone. Feel the tissues and something beyond that. Feel the rivers. Now begin to tap 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and move along. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The outer edges. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now use your fingers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now your palms. 1, 2, 3. Go in the inner part of your forearm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lift your arm. 1, 2, 3. Go on your armpit. 1, 2, 3. Go on the side of your body. 1, 2, 3. Heavy hand. 1, 2, 3. Begin to work your way down your legs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going down to the sides of your leg. 1, 2, 3. The upper part of your feet. 2, 3. Your foot. Switch arms. 1, 2, 3. Go in the inside of your leg. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish in your inner thigh. Connect with the echoes of your touch. Take a deep inhale and a soft exhale. Other side, left hand goes to the right collarbone. Feel it at first. Let your fingers and your heavy hand begin the conversation. And tap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Begin the journey. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep breathing deep to the sides of the pelvis. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Use your fingers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now palms. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Inside of your forearm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Size of your body. 1, 2, 3. Work your way down towards your legs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Outside of your leg. Heavy hand. 1, 2, 3. Top of your feet. 1, 2, 3. Inside of your leg. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep inhale. Feel the echoes. Take a deep inhale here. And a soft exhale.
Take another deep inhale. And a soft exhale. And gently open your eyes. As you inhale, follow your hands with your eyes as they reach up to the sky. And folding forward now, fold at your hips. Generous bend in your knees so that your lower back can not round too much, and fold over on top of your thighs. And pushing the big toes apart, finding a lift in your inner ankles as you begin to sway side to side. Wait for your next inhale to come, and as it comes, halfway lift. And pull your arms apart, opening your wings, keeping that soft bend in your knees. And exhale, folding at your hips. One more time, inhale and fly. And finding that resistance as your hands pull apart. Knees are forward, sitting bones are back, and folding with your bent knees. And step it back into downward facing dog. Inhale, let your spine ripple forward into plank, keeping your knees bent. Your sitting bones are pulling back, and exhale, melt yourself all the way down to the ground. Inhale, pull your sitting bones towards your heels, almost into a child's pose. Exhale, round all the way up, hands in front of your heart. Find a gentle bounce here, connecting to the outer parts of your hips, wrapping your hips in, pulling your sitting bones back, low belly is lifted. And as your next inhale comes, gather in, crossing your arms, and then inhale, pulling your arms apart. Sitting bones stay back. Exhale, hands back to center. Finding that bounce. Inhale, rounding forward, and then lifting your collarbones towards the sky as you inhale, opening your arms. And exhale, hands to heart. Finding those soft zombie hands, relaxed hands in front of your heart. And find your next inhale. Open your wings one more time. Keeping your sternum grounded. Inhaling towards your collarbones. And reaching your chest towards the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to your mat, hips come back. Inhale, round your spine forward. Exhale, hips come up and back into downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent. Connect to the feeling of your sitting bones being pulled up and back towards the sky. And inhale, begin to walk your feet towards your hands. Exhale, fold. Keeping that lift in the inner ankles. Let your inhale bring you halfway up. Open your wings. And exhale, folding out your hips. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale, come straight into your fold. Keeping your knees bent, folding out your hips. Bringing your upper body to rest on your thighs. Waiting for the inhale. Open your wings and fly. Your low belly is drawn in. Your knees stay bent, your sitting bones are pulling you back, and then exhale, fold out your hips. One more time, waiting for the inhale. And pull your arms apart. Exhale, fold. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, your spine ripples forward. Even here, keeping your sitting bones back, and then exhale, melting down to the ground. Inhale, bring your hips towards your heels. And then exhale as you gather your hands in front of your heart. Inhale, your arms pull apart. Feeling that expansion of your chest. Reaching your face towards the sky, towards the sun. And exhale, hands go onto the ground, hips come back. Inhale, let your spine ripple forward. Exhale, hips up and back into downward facing dog. Connecting to those bent knees. Your sitting bones are pulling up and back. And finding length from that space. Take a full breath here. And then inhale, begin to walk your feet towards your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, one time fly. Your arms pull apart. Keeping that connection of the outer feet. Pulling up towards your outer hips, and then exhale, fold. Inhale brings you all the way up, follow your hands with your eyes. Exhale, coming straight into your fold. Inhale, open your wings and fly. Exhale, fold. Step it back into downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple your spine forward. Exhale, melt down to the ground. Inhale, your hips shift back. Exhale, hands in front of your heart, finding those soft hands. As your inhale comes, you pull your arms apart, expanding your heart towards the sky. Exhale, hands down onto the mat. Inhale, ripple your spine forward onto all fours, and then exhale, your hips come up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, walk your feet towards your hands. And exhale, fold. Inhale, your hands come all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, hands by your side. Finding our vortex chair, so our feet are hip width apart. Our big toes are pulling apart. Finding a lift in the inner ankles, knees come forward and sitting bones come back. You can rest your hand on your thighs as you sink a little bit deeper and find a bounce here. Your low belly is pulled in, you're breathing deeply into the sides of your pelvis. Connecting to the outer hips, from the outer hips down into the outer parts of your feet. Finding a lightness in your heels. The weight is on the outer part of your feet. Your hips are wrapping in. And bring your soft zombie hand in front of your heart. Gather in, and as you inhale, pull apart one time. And to exhale, come back, sinking low into your vortex chair. Now sink a little bit deeper. Knees forward, sitting bones come back, and rest your right hand onto your right thigh, close to your hip. You can place both hands there, and as your sitting bones are pulling back, with your hands, help your knee to pull forward, help your femur bone to pull forward, finding that resistance between the two. As you do this, your right ribs start to move in, and you're beginning to get pulled towards your right thigh. And from here, slowly, as your right ribs pull in, your low belly is pulled in, your right hand is pulling that thigh forward, your left elbow begins to come to the outside of that right thigh. Your sitting bones are pulled back, your right hand is continuing to pull forward. You can stay here, you can place that right hand onto your left hand. Find your prayer position. Deep breaths here and then release, come back to center. Lift your hands up to the sky, inhale. And exhale, fold. One time fly, inhale, open your wings. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, sink down into your vortex chair. Knees forward, hips back, low bellies lifted. Sink a little bit deeper and bring that left hand to your left thigh. As your left sitting bone is pulling back, your left hand is helping that knee come forward. Your left ribs begin to come in towards your heart, bringing your body towards your left thigh, and your right hand, your right elbow begins to come to the outside of that left thigh. Find your twist. Sitting bones are pulling back. Breathe deeply into the sides of your pelvis. You can stay here or bring that left hand on top of your right hand. Deep breaths. And then release back into your vortex chair and fold. Step it back into downward facing dog. Find your bent knees. Sitting bones are pulling up and back. Soft baby hands. Low bellies pulling in towards the back of your heart. Begin to drop your right heels. Begin to drop your heels to the right. They don't have to touch. They're going to be floating, but leaning towards the right. Your left hip is pulling up towards the sky, and your left hip and your left armpit are pulling apart, finding a rainbow in that left side of your body. Breathe deeply. And then shift up back onto your toes and let your heels fall towards the left side. Your right hip is slightly turning towards the sky. Right hip and right elbow, right armpit are pulling apart, so you're finding a rainbow stretch in your side body. Keeping your knees bent and find a bounce. The weight in your right hand is very light. Your fingertips are just grazing the mat. Come back to center. One more time, the other side. Your heels drop to the right. You can find a gentle lift here of your left fingertips. Maybe step your left foot behind your right, finding your baby wild thing. A very gentle opening. Just a sway of your left hand as it elephant trunks up towards the crown of your head. Your knees are bent, your sitting bones are pulling back. Low belly is drawn in. Connecting to that rainbow of your left side of the body. And come back to the center. And take a full breath here. Inhale, ripple your spine forward. And bend your knees, coming back into a spine roll, back into downward facing dog. Let your heels drop to your left side. And finding that stretch, and you can either stay here or you can bring that right foot behind your left foot for a baby wild thing. Your right arm floats up, finding that elephant trunk. And find that stretch. Your hips are turned up towards the sky. You're rainbowing the entire side of your body. Finding a bounce. Your sitting bones are pulled back. And come back to center. Roll forward into plank. And soften down to the ground. Bring your hands underneath the crown of your head, underneath your forehead. And take a deep inhale here. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale. And push your sitting bones back towards your heels. And round yourself up, hands in front of your heart. One time fly here, gather in. Inhale. And exhale, hands down onto the ground. Inhale, roll forward. And exhale up into downward facing dog. And bring your knees down. Sit back onto your heels and bring your legs out in front of you. How soft can you go as you begin to lower your spine down to the ground? Finding the softness in your body. Coming down all the way down onto your back. Keeping your knees bent. With your feet on the floor, hip width apart, bring them a little bit closer to your glutes. As you inhale, your knees are going to pull away from your hips. And that pull is going to lift your hips up towards the sky. Exhale, begin to lower down your middle back, vertebra by vertebra. Even slower. Reaching your lower back as slow as you can. And release down. One more time as you inhale, your knees are pulling away from you, lifting your hips up towards the sky. And exhale, vertebra by vertebra. Feeling each part of your back slowly touching back down to the ground. Reaching your lower back until you come all the way down. Noticing the feeling running down your spine. Begin to slide your feet out into your resting pose. Let your feet fall apart. Turn your palms towards the sky. And find a space where all parts of your body are equally comfortable for your Shavasana. Imagine a soft wave of water. Begin to reach the crown of your head and let it wave over your face, relaxing your forehead, relaxing your eyes, relaxing your jaw. Let your bones feel heavy and soften your tissues and your skin. Relax your forehead, relax your jaw. Begin to drift deeper within yourself, deeper within your own rivers. As you drift deeper within, take a few moments to breathe, to relax your body, to feel. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Find slow movement in your fingers and your toes. Let the breath bring your arms, your hands up above your head for a deep stretch. And bring yourself onto your right side, keeping your eyes closed. Softly bring yourself back to a comfortable seat. With your eyes closed, connect back to your inner rivers. Feeling into the rivers of change. Without rushing, without the need to put any of your feelings into words. Just let those feelings exist, feel them, notice them, any sensations in your body. And try to take a bit of that sensation, that journey within, take it with you into your day. And take it with you into your breath. And take a deep inhale here. And a soft exhale. And take one more deeply felt inhale. And a soft and slow exhale. And when you feel ready, begin to open your eyes, connecting back to the space you're in, connecting back to the outside world. Thank you for joining us today.